Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. This is the intraday for Bitcoin. We're gonna see what happened today and what we might expect next. So basically, as a reminder, where we have a potential diagonal here, leading diagonal wave A or a wave 1, we start to seek here after something very complex and very corrective. Now, basically, if you want to consider this after this high, if you want to consider this something impulsive, the only way to do, of course, after this zigzag here, another zigzag there, and another zigzag here. So those zigzag, which can, of course, unfold something as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, which it means, of course, something as an expanding diagonal. However, why this is not, of course, an expanding diagonal? Because first, it's very rare. Second, the wave 5 should be very longer than the wave 3, right? So it looks like unfinished expanding diagonal even, meaning W, X, and a Y, of course, is much more likely here as W, X, and a wave Y finished over there. Then we saw, of course, another 3 waves toward the upside, and of course, another something, another corrective potential here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. We cannot really count it. Where is your wave 5? Even on the 15-minute chart, if you want to take a look closer, we cannot see, of course, any kind of a wave 5 in this area. So nothing is yet. If this is a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 here, also you don't have an impulse. Clearly, it is, of course, a 3 waves there, and of course, invalidation given directly. So nothing is impulsive toward the downside either. And so we don't have a push for higher, and we don't have really strong push toward the downside as well. So I would say we are much more likely here in a sideways. Now, what is clear for us is that after this diagonal, we might have here as something potential, a very complex structure. It can be also a triangle as well, A, B, C, D, E here. And currently, after this A, B, you are looking for a wave C, potentially for lower prices still, then having a wave D, and then E, and then pushing for higher. And that means, of course, an A, B, and a C as a zigzag corrective channel here might still be unfolding, but this triangle, of course, might be your wave B over there as a triangle. Now, if this wave B even wants to be something even much more complex than a triangle, well, it can be. Well, after having the W, X, and a Y here, 3 ways up, this is your high there. That means you might expect something as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In case it is, but I don't see a wave 1 as an impulse over there. Therefore, I'm expecting also 3 waves toward the downside as bigger W, X, and a Y. And to, of course, reduce the chaos here, so I'm gonna just remove this W, X, Y. I'm gonna put it there, W, X, and a Y. Potentially for a wave B, and very unlikely for a wave 2. Okay, very, very unlikely for a wave 2. So I'm expecting definitely a wave 2 here, a wave B rather than a wave 2. Yeah. And then looking for a wave C toward the upside as an ABC zigzag, right? However, if this is not going to happen, and we're gonna see, of course, even lower prices, well, we have to come back there for the W, X, and a Y here possibility, where we might still be very in a very complex structure here, but I don't see a very clear move toward the downside, right? No impulses, no motive waves over there to count, of course, something as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to continue the trend very strongly for lower prices. So this is what I'm saying here. Of course, we are in a bear market. We still expecting lower prices. However, the lower prices here is, of course, a very, I would say, unlikely to have something as impulsive still. Yeah. So the things are really complex here, I would say. And I'm still, of course, looking for a finished structure here in more complex structure as well, and then pushing for higher, probably to finish something as 3 waves and then continue the trend towards the downside, guys. So this is regarding Bitcoin, and we'll see also the KGT indicator. I would like to see a little bit some indication, because of course the price is very horrible and very complex. So indicators might give us a help a little bit here to understand the things. So yeah, as you can see, well, it's very clear also on the indicator. It shows how much, of course, the consolidation is very, very strong here. And as I mentioned that, yeah, the fight between the bulls and the bears is still very strong in this area. And we still see, of course, consolidation. I don't see any diversions for the bullish, and I don't see any conversions for the bearish. How much horrible is that? Very interesting, honestly. The price is very, very balanced, I would say. Now, on the 5 minute chart as well, well, okay, if we sum up a little bit on the 5 minute, okay, we see that there is a convergence here for the bearish, which it might give a little bit more power, but still, of course, the signal here for the bullish, but not divergence. So I would say, yeah, on the 5 minute, it says that, okay, it can be that the bearish they can take over a little bit lower prices, but that doesn't mean that we will go down very impulsively. So what I'm expecting, guys, after watching all of this, the Elliott wave, the indicators, and the complexity of the structure, well, all what I think is, since of course we got 5 ways up, I'm still looking for another 5 ways up, okay, at the end. But this structure probably not finished yet. So we can see, of course, 3 waves and then another 5 ways up. Whether an impulse or an ending diagonal, it doesn't matter. I'm still looking for this, okay? And of course, because of this complexity and today's price, we dive deeper, and I think, of course, we might dive even more deeper. Still coming back even to take the low there, okay? So we might take this low. This is what I think, of course, regarding Bitcoin, guys. Lower prices are expected, but not really very impulsive. I would say it is much more complex in a structure, and we still looking for higher prices a little bit for a recovery, and then probably continue the bear market, probably as a diagonal. But we're gonna see, of course, what's gonna happen after finishing, of course, this corrective and this complexity over there. That was it for Bitcoin. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.